Welcome. In this playthrough of Marvel United, we're going to have Black Widow, Ant-Man, and Wasp take on the Taskmaster. So down at the table, already have our locations in place with our civilians and thugs. As for our villain, the Taskmaster, he's going to come in with 4 health on him. His BAM ability, deal 1 damage to each hero in his location and add 1 crisis token there. For overflow, if a civilian or thug token can't be added to a location, add a crisis token to that location instead. And the special rules, heroes cannot damage Taskmaster as long as there are any crisis tokens on any locations. Heroes can discard a crisis token from a location with no civilians or thug tokens by using a heroic or attack action there. So we'll put him in there with his 4 health, and we will distribute his threats around the city here, starting with Avengers Mansion. It's going to get an entangled trap. Heroes using a move to leave this location must use 2 to leave. Then at Central Park, got an explosive trap. Each civilian in this location requires an extra heroic to be rescued. Then up at Stark Labs, we've got another explosive trap. Times Square, we have elite thugs. Each thug in this location requires 2 damage to be defeated. Avengers Tower, more elite thugs. And the New York Police Headquarters has an entangling trap. So to see where our villain and heroes start, we're going to roll a d6, using this as a 1 and going clockwise. So we've got a 3, so he's going to start 1, 2, 3 up at Stark Labs. So here's the Taskmaster, which means our heroes are going to start at police headquarters. So once again, we've got Black Widow coming in, along with Ant-Man and Wasp. So I've taken each of their decks and got those shuffled in here. So we'll start by drawing 5 cards. Of course, these are going to give us our actions. So we've got Black Widow with 2 fights, Wasp with a fight, Ant-Man with a heroic, Wasp with 2 heroics, and Wasp with 1 heroic. And the Taskmaster starts this off. And once again, our win condition is we need to defeat him by removing all his health. We will lose if we go to draw a card from here and there isn't any. Or if we go to draw a card from here and we don't have any and we don't have any cards in our hand. Or if we discard the last card in our hand. So the villain starts off and he is going to do a copycat ability, which is good to get over with right now. So he's not going to move at all. We're going to add a civilian token to his location for each heroic at the bottom of the last 2 hero cards in the storyline. And right now there are no hero cards in the storyline, so that works for us. So we're going to get 3 hero turns now, and each turn consists of drawing a card and playing a card. So we've got Ant-Man with a wild, and we're just going to start with Wasp, getting 2 heroic actions to deal with this entangling trap here at the headquarters. And next, drawing into Ant-Man. And we'll use a different version of him with a heroic. So we have 3 heroics to deal with. First one we're going to put on the trap. So we will remove this trap, which means we'll take this, put it up on one of our missions. We still have 2 heroic actions left, so we will rescue 2 civilians. Then, end of our turn, we may discard 1 thug from any location. And I think we're going to take a thug off one of these places where they're elite. So it's not damaging, we're discarding. And then for our third action, drawing into a Black Widow. Some movement would have been nice. So instead we're going to use a wild. We'll use that wild to move. And use the heroic to start working on this elite thug problem at Avengers Tower. So that's going to end our first round of heroes. So I'm going to take these in the same order just to save on space. Villain goes. So he's going to move 2 spaces, do his BAM ability, then place a civilian in his space and 2 adjacent spaces. So 1, 2, BAM, damage a hero in a space, which means we need to discard a card. So out of our hand, we're definitely keeping the double. And then it just comes down to, we've got a lot of fight, so we're going to get rid of a Wasp single fight, and that goes on the bottom of our stack. We get a crisis token on this location. And then he's bringing out 3 civilians. 1 there, 1 here, and 1 there. All right, so back to us. Wasp, she's got a wings ability. May move yourself in any number of heroes from your location to another location. But I think we're going to use this one for the heroic. Use the wild for movement. And the heroic for our thug problem. Next, Black Widow and her interrogate ability. So look at the top card of the master plan deck. You may place it on the bottom. And I think we will go ahead and use this. Use her heroic to take care of these thug problem here. And that uncovers, we may search your deck for 1 card, set it aside, then shuffle your deck and place that card on top. We still have a move. But I think she's just going to may move herself to and any number of heroes from your location to another. We're just going to keep him there, move over to Central Park, then use our move to go into Avengers Mansion. Then draw a Black Widow card, and we'll go ahead and use that. Move over here and start dealing on this trap. So we're done with our hero round. Taskmaster is not going to move. Copycat, he's going to add a thug to his location for each attack at the bottom of the last 2 hero cards in the storyline, which is 0. So we did well there. And now back to our hero turn, drawing an Ant-Man card with 2 wilds. Instead, we're going to play Black Widow with a punch, but she's going to use 1 heroic to deal with this trap. So we've got 3 out of 4 on this one. And the other heroic to rescue a civilian and no one to punch. So end of turn, you may draw cards until you have 3 in your hand. We've got 4. Next, Wasp card. So energy projection, you can move to any location and punch there. Then another punch coming up. And I think we'll go ahead and do that. Move to any location. Punch there, punch again, and once again, an extra punch with no one to hit. So Black Widow is going to give us a move and a punch. Only got 2 thugs on the board, so I guess we will, let's see, I think we'll go with Ant-Man. So we'll use a wild to rescue, punch, to get rid of the crisis token since we don't have any thugs or civilians there, and take a pretend punch at him, but we can't hurt him yet. So Ant-Man's done. But we may search our deck for 1 card and set it aside and then shuffle our deck and place that card on top, which I think we'll do. I think I want a Wasp with either a couple wilds or a couple heroics. There's her double wild. See if she's got a double heroic in here. Nope. So we'll take that, shuffle her deck, and then put her on top. Hero round is over. Villain. Dark schemes. If there are no heroes in his location, place a crisis token there. We're getting lucky on these. So now we are going to draw a card, and we already know we want to play it, so we have 4 wilds to deal with. 3 are going to be heroic. Still a little early for all that, but too late now. I've already done it. So we have completed the threat mission. And the mistake I made there is these are quite a bit from being done, and now we've made it to where the villain acts after 2 hero cards. So not my best plan. We do have 1 wild left, so we can rescue a civilian. End of turn, we may swap 1 card from our hand with one of the cards in your storyline. That's a definite yes. Like Ant-Man's double wild. That's what we're going to do. We're going to change Ant-Man's punch for an Ant-Man double wild. And our next turn is the Wasp here. I think we're going to use that double wild right now. So we're going to use 1 as a movement, and the other 3 to bring out some civilians. And since we unlocked early, he's going to move 3 and then place civilians in his spot in adjacent spaces. So 1, 2, and 3. Civilian up here, here, and here. Now we're going to get 2 turns. All right, so we'll draw a card and play, getting Wasp with a wild. We are going to bring in Black Widow. Interrogate, look, the top card of the master plan deck. You may place it on the bottom. So if there are no heroes in this location, place a crisis token there, and he's not moving. I'm good with that. So we've got a punch and 2 wilds. The first is going to be rescue a civilian. So we have done that mission. And that means the villain is now vulnerable to damage. Second one is to move. And looking around the board, we don't have any other crisis tokens in. So the last one is going to be to punch him for 1 damage. And this is going a lot easier than expected. But at least we have Black Widow on the Taskmaster. 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. And he is defeated. So I think that's about as easy as this scenario could go. But Black Widow, Ant-Man, and Wasp was able to take care of the Taskmaster. So as always, hope you enjoyed this playthrough. If so, please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.